New Jersey. At least down here, down here in the South, we can drive.
No, you're an older teenager. You count as a teenager to me.
No, first of all, Spray.
So don't even try to say that teenagers are bad because we were all of them once.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. You have to realize that, like as you get older and you realize how many adults stop themselves from just reaching over and smacking the shit out of you when you were a teenager.
Because you realize, holy shit, I was a selfish asshole. Little shit I did that I didn't even realize. Like, here's a small example. I'm a dad now. My son takes naps. Not often, but he takes a nap on occasion. I didn't realize as a teenager that I used to love to blast my music. I figured as long as there's no cursing, it's okay. No. You're waking people up, keeping people from taking naps. You're doing all kinds of things. You don't realize you're doing that.
Oh, shit.
Your loud conversations in the street, very distracting.
No, it wasn't so much. It wasn't so much that.
No. I'm giving you a tamer example.
Well, I mean, it wasn't so much that when I was a teenager. It's just how much they're just like teenagers are such smart asses. They always have something.
Oh,
to
yeah.
say. It's like what the fuck do you know? It's like they always know more than everyone else. It's like you're a fucking teenager. You haven't even lived your life. Shut the fuck up.
Well, the sad part is, technically, they know more now than we did back then. Because friggin' technology, they get so much more access to shit.
Well, I mean,
don't get me wrong. They still don't know shit. They just know more shit than we did.
Well, they think they know more shit. True. But I mean, like, one of the things I like about the kids that I volunteer with is like when they think they're getting real smart. I'm like, look, I tell them the same shit my parents used to tell me. But there's nothing that you've thought about or done or saw someone that do that I haven't thought about done or seen someone do. So don't try and pull some shit on me. Because you're not going to try.
Anybody knows that we're live?
Yeah. So
I didn't, but he's notorious for doing that shit. So it's whatever.
I don't care. I don't care.
And then there's me. I'm like,
he likes to sneak in that live so everybody can hear the raw, uncut conversation.
I don't care. We'll call this Gamers at Large After Dark. There you go.
All right, hey.
Somebody's paying attention.
It is After Dark.
Yeah.
So it's been a long ass time since actually being on a podcast. I had a faulty mic and
you finally got that taken care of? Okay, first of all, wait a second. Who's playing Sonic Mania?
Oh, you already know who it is.
this Sonic addict.
You already know if it's Sonic or Mario, it's friggin' Sprite.
Well, there's one thing I do have to say though before we get started. I was gonna do this in my own podcast, but I said, you know what? I don't want to trample on Doc's thing, so I moved mine. But mine, it was the FU cast. But there are 3 groups of people in the gaming industry I still have to say FU to. First of all, Phil Spencer, who lied to everyone and said 2017 was going to be the biggest year for the Xbox, and he basically brought up what did he bring up? Like they're releasing a new console with no exclusives, like not a single exclusive. Is going to be on the system.
There's still 4 months left, though. There's still 4 months left to 2017. Just so you know, a lot can happen in 4 months.
Even the games that are coming out are not exclusive to the system. Okay, so I'm kind of like, you know what? F you, Phil. EA for basically help to torpedo Titanfall 2. I don't even like Titanfall, the first one, or Titanfall 2, but they gave those poor people a raw deal. Although they should have known better because they used to work for EA. They know EA is the devil. So F you, EA. And for people who keep on
saying FUA, you might as well say FU Ubisoft because they're just as bad.
Yeah, they are just as bad. And finally, FU to, I'd like to say a FU to the people who are like, Nintendo needs to do something. Nintendo needs to do something. Look, like, why are they so quiet right now? They're counting their money. That's what. And look, you can't count your money. Every time you bother them, you interrupt them, they got to start counting all over again. In their Scrooge McDuck money bin. So for you people who are like, well, they need to say something. F you. No, I'm joking about that last one. But basically, just 2 FUs and a false FU, and that's it. That's all I want to say. Okay, Sprite, you're gonna have to like turn that shit down or something, man. People do not want to hear spin dashes while they're talking about this stuff all day long.
And collection of coins.
It's not coins. It's rings.
We know it's rings. Yeah. You need to turn that down or something. Although I have to admit, the music for this game, for Sonic Mania, is really good. Yeah, it is really good. I mean, but here's the thing I have to say. Isn't it weird that one of the best 2D Sonic games that have come out in years had to be made by fans of Sonic and not Sega themselves? Isn't that a little ironic?
Well, if you want to go that route, what about Mega Man?
Same thing.
Enough said.
Like, I mean, like the reason I never felt shorted by not buying Mario Maker was because all the levels that I played on other people's copy of that game, I'm like, well, these are fine, but it's nothing like I'd get from like, you know, Tokyo EAD, like the dedicated professional Mario people. And yet, I mean, this is a sad day when people who had nothing to do with Sega, the people who made Sonic, make better Sonic games than Sega themselves. That's embarrassing.
All I gotta say is freedom, planet.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Whatever. They had a trailer for the second game. I don't know what happened since then.
They're probably still working on it.
Production still.
Yeah, they're probably still making it.
As much as I love Sonic Mania, you gotta make most of the game mostly reuse older songs, so it was not like much work had to be done on that game.
Yeah, but they still remixed a lot of the levels and stuff like that, and there's enough new stuff that makes it like, okay, if you go into Sonic Mania playing exactly like you played Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and maybe CD, that awesome remix they did, you'll probably get your ass kicked.
The CD levels and the Sonic 2 levels were remixed enough, but the Sonic and Knuckles levels, like the Flying Battery song, Lava Reach song, and Hydro City almost felt the same to me. Like, practically, I remember the songs like when I used to play them on the Genesis levels. I was like, Hydro City practically is the same song.
Yeah, that could be the case. I haven't played enough of the game to really make that type of.
I love Sonic Mania, but I do feel like it was way too safe. Like, way too safe.
Really? Because I felt it was exactly what it needed to be.
It is good. It is good. I love it. But
I do like how Act 2 music is different. They kind of like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles.
Just to let you know, as someone who lost complete interest in Sonic, other than his older games, I don't really care about this conversation.
He's like, I just want to let you guys know, I give no shits.
Yeah, at least I was polite about it. The old me would have said a lot more than that.
Okay, so we'll guide the conversation. So, anyone else have any more fangasming they want to do about Sonic Mania? And look, even I had a small, minuscule fangasm about it. I don't even like Sonic the Hedgehog, so you know that's your endorsement. Someone who doesn't even like Sonic the Hedgehog, it's a good game. Get it if you want to play a solid platform.
Now Sega has a big. They have a certain standard now. So let's hope that Forces ain't too terrible.
This isn't a standard. This is, like I said earlier, it's sad that the best 2D Sonic game we've gotten in years is not even made by Sega. That's sad. That's like Nintendo saying, "Hey guys, the next 2D Mario game, guess what, bitches?
But
it's
it's sad and funny because it speaks volumes of where the video game industry is right now.
Well, I mean, it speaks volumes of where Sega is. I'm not gonna apply Sega's problems to the whole industry, although there are a lot of old school developers that have kind of gone down the shitter lately.
Okay, you know what? Let me clarify. You're right. It's not the whole industry, but some of the older developments have gone similar routes. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Capcom, Konami.
Capcom. Say it right. If you're gonna say it, say it right.
kind of like how Square Enix.
I don't even call it Square. It's Skenix. It's Skenix
because they how
my favorite Square Enix game right now is on mobile. That is freaking terrifying.
Is it Final Fantasy 15 the mobile game? Is it Final Fantasy 15 the mobile game?
Hell no. That piece of shit.
No,
I'm hooked on Exvius though. Remember? It's like
that does look.
It pays homage to old school Super Nintendo with new elements. What?
I was saying, please don't have it be all the bravest, because everyone in this room would flip if you said that.
All the bravest, or as I like to call it, the Final Fantasy microtransaction fest.
If you like Final Fantasy from the Nintendo days up to PlayStation, you would love Brave Exvius. The only issue I'd say is that it does have that friggin' coin slot thing for getting characters, so you may end up being frustrated from time to time.
Yeah.
You may not always get the characters you want, but the main storyline is actually really good. Like I'm waiting for each update. I'm liking the storyline a lot. Just when you think shit's starting to make sense, they throw a little curveball. I'm like, okay, I'm with it. This reminds me of the Super Nintendo into the PlayStation days, when Square actually was a good company.
And knew how to make games.
Yeah, the only problem is they're milking you a little bit. That's why I haven't dropped a dime in a long time. I do my best to earn my coins. I don't pay, lapis. I don't spend any money on the game really, other than my initial. Just to show it some love, when I first started playing the game, I'll drop money, but I haven't given them any money in months.
The best Final Fantasy game I've played in recent years is still Bravely Default.
Have you played Bravely Default? Is awesome, no doubt. Have you played Final Fantasy Explorers?
I haven't, but I've heard good things about it.
That game is fun. It's like Monster Hunter done right.
Final Fantasy, yeah. I mean, it's Monster Hunter, except instead of like the different weapon classes and stuff like that, you have like the job classes.
Exactly. And they even give you a little bit of fan service. You could summon some of your favorite heroes and use them. So you could turn into everybody's favorite douchebag Cloud.
Yeah, I was planning on getting that game until they were really pushing Cloud to get people to buy it. They're like, Cloud Strike. I'm like, fuck this game.
You don't need Cloud. I'm gonna tell you right now, the game is damn good without him.
Yeah,
even with him,
they can't
just
have
play the game. It's fun.
Fantasy spinoff without that.
I love the collaborations too. I used to team up with Quan.
Even though I always like to say that I'm like a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I would like to here's a spinoff I would like to see. And I don't think they'd ever do it, but I think that it would be a fun game to me. If they made like a brawler beat 'em up, right? With like kind of like Yakuza's games are, where there's a story, but your main character was like one of those beat 'em up type characters from maybe like they took like 3 brawlers from 3 different Final Fantasies, and somehow they went to a new world and they have their own thing they're going with.
Do you know what you're saying, dude? You're talking about Bouncer done right.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I remember that.
Like you could be like Sabine, Tifa, because she's hot. Like Tifa could actually be with a dude who's not gay.
Oh my god.
Yes, I said Cloud Strike is gay.
I wasn't even gonna say Tifa. I was saying nobody has done Sabine justice in over 20 years.
Well, I mean, he's a real man, because unlike Cloud, who everyone's like, he's so badass, but did he suplex a train, though?
I'm like, wait up, exactly. Have you suplexed the goddamn train? No, you have not.
Yeah. I mean, and like, look.
And not even be winded.
Yeah, he's got.
He did it. He could have probably did it 20 times in a row.
Yeah, he's got busty petite Tifa, who's always like totally stretching her pecs out at him. He's like, no, I'd rather have this tall blonde-haired dude with a long sword stab me. I'm not interested in hanging out with you, Tifa. No, I'm gonna be over here in the turn.
Yeah, that kind of makes me wonder about some of our fans. I'm just saying.
So speaking of,
because like one of my favorite characters of all times is Rydia, and my other favorite is Terra.
Can you guys hear me?
Have you not
Yeah.
noticed the gender?
Can you guys hear
Just
me
saying.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear both of you.
So,
Kenoshi and Contrarian.
so who's been playing Sonic Mania? Have you guys talked about that yet?
Yeah,
Well, if you
yeah.
were here earlier, you would have heard Sprite Weebits playing it while we were in the podcast, collecting rings and running insanely fast.
Mm,
Not to be confused with clones.
That ain't me though. That's someone else's plan.
The only thing that really makes me happy about Sonic Mania is that they have the original version of the Chemical Plant theme song, which I love. Like, that is just an awesome song. Like you could take the instrumental of that song and dance to it. That's how awesome that song is.
Did you get to that boss fight?
Oh, you mean the Mean Bean Machine boss fight?
Yeah.
No,
No, I didn't. I just played a few levels at a friend's house, and I was like, this game's fun. And then I put it back because I'm not,
I might
Look, I
beat
got too
Pete
many
soon,
games.
gents. I just wanted to pop in, show some love, real quick. I got family stuff to take care of. And
man.
tell Doc, the rat bastard, if you're gonna be here, at least be here.
Yeah.
Well, he's got his avatar there giving everyone the fingers.
Yeah. Do like.
Oh, you know what? You know what? That makes perfect sense. I just realized that.
He's like, hey.
I said, yeah, go ahead and be like Gal, Shep. Go home and be a family man.
That's perfect.
So there goes the Good Shepherd, who's about to bounce on us, but that's okay because when he's here, he's great, and when he's not here, he's mad.
I just want to let you guys go ahead and have at it, man. It was too good to stop.
You guys are bastards. Screw you. You know damn well I love being here, but I got stuff to do. So you can kiss my you know what.
Well, I hate to bring this subject up now that you're leaving, but Crackdown 3.
Really, dude? Really?
Can we just all say it together? Let's just say it all together.
Microsoft is
Fuck you,
doomed.
Microsoft. There you go.
What happened with Crackdown 3?
It's been moved to 2018.
Fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Oh, the Xbox One X is not going to have another exclusive.
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing before we get into it?
Plus, I gotta go talk to my guild members.
Okay, cool. If you're going to move the biggest exclusive for this game to 2018, wouldn't it make sense just to move the Xbox One X launch to 2018? Because
Gotta get it out there. Gotta get it out there.
yeah, but it's not going to sell that well.
Red Fox, once again, you're trying to apply logic. You know the rules.
Oh, you're right. I don't know what's wrong with me. If someone could reach into the internet and slap me for trying to apply logic and sense to this shit, I'm sorry.
I'm going to be frank. Why is Microsoft making bad business decision after bad business decision this year? It's like,
well, they've been doing it for 17 years since the Xbox One. So
that's 85% of the gaming industry. Let's be real.
Why stop now?
I'm telling you,
but I mean, like they're not even trying anymore. Like it's like Microsoft just throwing the towel and they just say, "Look, we're getting fucked by the Switch and the PS4. Why even try to compete? Let's just try to survive until Bill Gates pulled the plug on us."
I have two words for you right now, there, my good man. Windows 10.
Yep.
assimilate.
Yeah. Like basically, I think what I think is going on is I think the Xbox One X isn't designed to really save the Xbox. This is basically the Xbox One X is going to be.
It's
Microsoft's
a modified PC that runs on a Windows 10 engine.
Well, I was going to say it was going to be their Dreamcast. It's going to be the Xbox's Dreamcast. It's going to be their swan song. It's going to be like, look, we gave you the most powerful system we could. It didn't do that well, so fuck off. Like the fans can't say Well, when Microsoft finally bundles up the Xbox as a console and just like moves it strictly to PC or whatever, like people can't say, well, you didn't give it a chance. Well, we did. We gave you the most powerful console ever at that time. You guys didn't support it, so fuck you guys.
You know what? It's kind of ironic that the fortune of Sony and Microsoft has been entirely switched upon the Switch release.
I like what you did there. I like that that little that pun you did there, sir. It was very nice.
I was waiting for too long.
The Switch is outselling the PlayStation and Xbox this last month.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's impossible.
Well, that's insane. And here's the thing: then you factor in that not only does Nintendo have a successful home console portable hybrid, their 3DS ain't doing that bad either.
Just like how the Best Buy here in town where I'm at right now, Nintendo's in front compared to the other two. That's impossible too. They're always in the back.
Well, because Nintendo is the hot thing right now, and like they can't handle it. Like someone over there at Microsoft and Sony is literally losing their heads because of this. They're like, I can't believe this Switch is kicking our asses. You could almost say Nintendo went by the side of the road and got a Switch and beat Microsoft and Sony with it.
Like I was thinking about getting a PS4 this year, but I'm just like, I don't want it. I don't.
Honestly, Kenoshi, listen to me. I've always preached that I was going to get a PS4. When I got a PS4, I'm pretty sure that when I got Sony took a loss on that console. I got a $212 PS4 Slim Uncharted 4 bundle. Brand new. At that time, their consoles were literally going for $300, $250 if you waited for a good sale. But $200, their biggest and best-selling exclusive, I'm pretty sure it's expensive too. You took a loss on that, and it wasn't the digital version; it was physical. So they took a loss on that. But to me, $200, that was worth it. That was worth it.
You know, Dragon Sword brought up an interesting question. Wasn't involved with gaming news during the Dreamcast days. How did the news go before the Dreamcast launch to Sega becoming third party regarding Sega?
Well, I mean, you have to remember, the Dreamcast when it first came out was doing okay, but the PS2 launched, and that basically, the PS2 took Sega's Dreamcast out back and curb stomped its balls like 5 times. And it was like a 500-pound sumo wrestler who did it.
But I want to say something about that though. I want to say something about PS2 versus Dreamcast. Yeah. I've said this a few times before. Even to the haters out there, even to the PS4 the PlayStation fanboys, the only reason the PS2 even was successful is because of DVD.
Yeah.
If the PS2 played CD-ROM, it would have flopped.
Well, I mean,
and Sega had screw-ups before that too with the add-ons.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Like Sega shot themselves in the ass with all the add-ons for the Sega Genesis and the Saturn. Which the Saturn in Japan did well, but everywhere else it failed miserably.
Just like the N64 didn't do too hot in Japan compared to the West.
Yeah. Actually, I have to disagree with you guys. The reason the PS2 was so successful is because it probably had one of the biggest gaming libraries it had at that time. The GameCube and Xbox, the GameCube.
Contrarian. We're not talking about at the end of the fact that when a console launches, it doesn't have a huge library. The reason, because the Dreamcast launched before the PlayStation. The reason the PlayStation beat the Dreamcast wasn't because of the library. It was because it had DVD and it started getting better. It started getting like games that weren't coming to the Dreamcast because Sega was like, those developers weren't going to put their they lost a lot of support because of the Saturn and they just weren't getting the games. But it wasn't the huge library. It was basically the price of the Dreamcast at first, and then Like like people thought they were getting a better deal with the PS2 because it could play DVDs too, and it was backwards compatible with the PS1. I mean, it was just the better buy. If you had to have one console, it was the better buy.
And free, and free backwards compatibility might not add.
There was also the fact that
take that modern day Sony.
There was also the fact even the crap. Well, those gaming articles that keeps popping up that was there was one that actually got a front page with the Dreamcast surrounded with dynamites. Was it Eurogamer or was it another publication?
Game Informer, I think. Was they out at the time? Or was it Game Pro?
It doesn't look. Okay, look.
So the bad press was already on top of Sega during that time as well.
It wasn't so much the bad press. What really hurt the Dreamcast, like I said, was all the mess ups that led up to the Dreamcast. Like if Sega hadn't doubled down on we need to go with the hot new technology, and instead of if they had supported the Sega for maybe the Sega Genesis for maybe another 2 years. Instead of doing add-ons, another 2-3 years, they could have done what Nintendo did. Like the PlayStation came out, and Nintendo was like, "We're going to give the Super Nintendo another 18 months, 2 years." Then they came out with the N64, and then well, actually, they tried to do their 32-bit system, which was the Virtual Boy, which is the biggest console failure that Nintendo has ever had. I don't want to hear people say it was the Wii U. No, it was the Virtual Boy. Okay, it sold less than 1 million units in a year on the market. It sold like 18,000.
No profit
a year on the market. So there you go. But yeah, Sega basically tried to. I mean, they had all these other mess ups that caused them to lose money, and then they didn't support the Saturn properly because of that piece of shit Bernie Stoller. Like there's some really good games for the Saturn that never came to America or any of the other bigger markets. It only came to Japan.
Which literally lose face from the fans themselves.
Well, that was money that could have come to Sega because a lot of those games were Sega first-party games, like Shining Force. That's a Sega first-party game, and we only got like part 1 of Shining Force and not the other two parts. So,
hey, Red Fox, as a little tidbit regarding Bernie Stoller, I remember it was probably a year ago, if not more. It was Juice's Loose podcast, and Mr. T was on there, and I think the topic was something like if you could go back. Like, if you go back in time and, like, maybe knock somebody out or punch someone completely, like, in the gaming industry, and Mr. T, like, it would be Bernie Stoller. He's like, because almost every company he's actually gone to work for has went under, or they lost a lot of money.
Yep.
He said for Sega, they lost a lot of money to see what happened with the Dreamcast and stuff, and he said that, I think he went to go work for... Who was it? He mentioned like 2 other major companies. And I'm like, damn, I did not know that. I even think like he worked for EA for a bit.
Yeah, Bernie Stoller is a piece of shit. And look, I don't know about the other companies, but I do know that I had a Saturn for like 2 months, and he was like,
I still have mine.
He was like, yeah, this is not our future. And then I saw the list of games that were in Japan that weren't coming to America because this piece of shit wouldn't bring them over. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. Why should I have a console where literally a third of the really, really good games, those games I would really like to play, we're not getting. And I was like, why should I have this why should I put money into a console that's not getting supported? So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. And I returned my Saturn, and I'm okay with it.
Okay,
I got good money back for it.
All right. Speaking about Bernie Stoller, reading it off of Wikipedia, Stoller was president of Atari and led the Lynx division in the early 1990. He was also the executive vice president of Sony Computer Entertainment America, where he was integral in building the original PlayStation's games catalog. After leaving, Sony, he accepted an offer to becoming president and chief operating officer at Sega of America.
So do we?
And launched the Dreamcast.
So do we know anything? So do we know anything about Atari's new console? Speaking of Atari,
It's basically an Android system. It's basically an Android system.
So it's
it's
an
an Android
basically.
system.
It's an Ouya.
Yeah, it's an Ouya. It's a place branded Atari. I mean, okay.
Android TV.
Well,
we don't have a.
Wait a second. Atari does have some really good games that they published in their category in the later years. So
Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 2 and 3, I think.
Well, I mean, they published. Let's see, what else did they publish? They published a lot of licensed titles. They did Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku for the GameCube and PS2, and I think it was on the Xbox, but I didn't have an Xbox, so. But they published a lot of second tier titles, but some of them were kind of good. So I mean, if it's handled right, but before anyone says Atari's back, baby, because I know there's a certain guy who has who used to have a website that's now gone, that he used to have these headlines. So and so's back. Atari is not back. Atari doesn't exist anymore. This is a company that holds the license, that's giving the license, selling the license to someone, renting the license out to someone for a set amount of money coming back to them. But Atari is not back. Atari's dead.
Or more like only having the name on a flag on a stick.
Not even that. Basically, the Atari as it is right now is like someone dug up a corpse in a cemetery, and they took the skull and they hollowed it out, and they're using it as a helmet. Like part of the skull is a helmet, and they're just wearing that. Yeah, I got a helmet now. No, but that's someone's skull. Yeah, it's Atari's skull. I got a helmet. That's basically what it is. This is not Atari.
Yeah, that's much more of an accurate description of how Atari's name is being used.
Yeah, they're just using the name.
I do want to piggyback on something Kenoshi mentioned earlier, but those July NPD numbers.
Oh, you mean where those July NPD numbers where Nintendo bent over Sony and Microsoft and turned them into their prison bitch?
Well, the argument would be that Nintendo Switch is a new platform. Of course, it's going to sell the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, but it also has exclusive games coming in that system. Everything else that's on the PlayStation.
No. They can't use that excuse either, because here's an exception. Nintendo Switch launched in March, so it didn't launch in a holiday or any type of shopping season whatsoever. In fact, it launched during the time where people were trying to recover from the holiday shopping season, for one. Two, we still haven't got to the shopping season as of yet. And three, come on, Sony, you released PSVR and PS Pro and PS Slim just over 8 months ago.
Well, I mean, let's keep it real. Like I said, the reason it's selling is because it has exclusive games for it. And let's keep it real. It had Splatoon 2. And the first Splatoon was a hit. This is bound to sell even more than that did. So, I mean, come on. I mean, shit. Goddamn.
And also, never mind. I'll save that for later.
Hell no! Say it now, because
let it out.
I was gonna say that. I mean, I was just gonna say that Sonic Mania is probably the old joke, the definitive place to play all your favorite games. I'd say Sonic Mania is the definitive place to play. Switch is the definitive place to play it, just for the fact that it's. But you can also take it on the go.
Okay, now you're just advertising.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a portable home console, so I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: since Sonic Mania is a multi-plat, I'm not considering it to be a system seller because it's on everything at this point except PC. But it's coming to PC later on this month.
Hold on, but I'm
I bet it'll sell better on the Switch than it will on the other.
Well, obviously, because Sega has known that the main platform for Sonic games since Sega left the the home market has always been on Nintendo platforms, which is weird because Sega spent so much time starting shit with Nintendo for years, and yet the biggest place for their games is on their rivals' platform.
Good luck trying to tell that to the Capcom with Mega Man.
Well, Capcom's figuring it out. They keep on losing money. They'll figure it out.
Why is it that there's only like 2 new games from Capcom this year, and everything else is just porcelain stuff from like 15 years?
What, you don't want Okami for the 4th time?
Hey, hopefully they'll figure it out before it's too late.
If I shut your ass, I'm gonna throw you out of here.
I mean, look, listen. Okay, I say this because I'm one of the suckers, because I bought Okami 3 times. I have it on the I bought it twice for the PS2 because my first disc got so scratched up because I played the hell out of it. So I've got 2 versions of Okami for the PS2, one that doesn't work because it's scratched to shit. I have the Wii version of Okami, and then I have Okami on the PS3 HD version. So, like, I really love Okami. That's like one of my favorite games. So, but am I going to buy it a 4th time for the PS4, the Xbox One? Since I don't have a PS4 and Xbox One, no. But even if I did, I still wouldn't buy it 4th time. I mean, no, a 5th time at this point. Shit, no, I wouldn't buy it.
But you know what? There's one thing I can say. Kenoshi, I hate to admit this. I'm trolling like you now. When the Xbox One X launches, I can't wait to hear this lame ass excuse. Why don't I play my games on the go when I can play them at home on my big TV?
Well, you know they don't say
who wants to play their games on the go on that small ass screen? Why would I want to do that? I can't wait to hear that.
It doesn't have any power in it, but I actually thought that you were going to say it like this. Everybody, wait till E3.
Yeah, everyone always says,
E3
wait till E3. Wait till E3. E3's gonna. Well, I mean, they're gonna say that when the Xbox One launches, because the triple Xbox is launching. It has no exclusives. There is no game that has been announced for the system that is exclusive to the Xbox. Everything is going to be on Xbox or PC or like timed exclusive for like a month. So what's the point? And the Xbox fans are going to be like, well, just wait until E3, and then E3 is going to come around, and it's going to be a lackluster E3 because Microsoft doesn't have any more exclusives. They shuttered all their studios except for
the hell?
You know, they have no. Well, Halo's going to be on PC too, so that's not exclusive anymore either. You know, Rare. Except, I mean, does anyone want Rare as they are now to make anything?
Super Lucky Tail. Who's the developer of that game? It looks like a Rare game, but it isn't.
I don't know, man. It looks kiddie.
I always thought it was a Rare game, like because it looked Conquerish, like the graphics.
Yeah, it did have a certain whimsical aesthetic.
There's only one Conquer, and it's on Rare Replay.
No, there's only one Conquer, and it's on an N64 cartridge.
I mean the game itself is like it has like the Conquer style graphics. I always thought that game was made by Rare, but I think it isn't.
No, it isn't. It's made by someone else.
Okay, Contrarian, Super Lucky Tales developer and publisher is called Playful.
There you go. It's not Rare. And to be fair, you wouldn't want Rare as they are now to make anything. Like Sea of Thieves is going to be a dumpster fire. And I haven't played it, but come on. If they made a good game recently that we know of, that we can name.
What about that Conquer remake they were going to make?
that Microsoft canceled? Yeah.
Shut up, man. I was trying to be helpful here.
Speaking of dumpster fires, everybody's talking about how the Sonic.
Well, hold on, Kanuchi. I got to correct myself. Actually, the publisher is Microsoft Studios. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that everybody talking about how the Sonic cycle is broken. For Sonic Mania broke it. Well, Sonic Forces hasn't yet come out yet, and that game's going to be a dumpster fire.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Sonic Forces is going to be terrible. From what I've heard from people who played it, played the test demo and all that type of stuff. From what I've played of it, because I went to a thing, it's okay. Here's the thing. It's like I haven't played a 3D Sonic game that has truly made Sonic into a 3D game yet. Like everything that I played is just rail running and then a few open areas and more running on rails. And to me, that's boring. But some people, I mean, like Sonic hasn't had that game that says, wow, look what you can do in a 3D space with Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't seen it yet. The closest we got was Sonic Unleashed. And that, and the way they did that was by having the Werehog and making Sonic slow as shit and turning it into a beat 'em up that was really kind of shallow. But I like the Werehog because the ending fight with Robotnik, like Sonic looks like he's totally gonna fucking kill Robotnik. That I thought was kind of cool.
I just feel like they can make like an open world kind of platform for 3D Sonic. Like I'm pretty sure people wouldn't mind going through basically a large green hill zone, like 10 times larger than
but the
Sonic.
problem is though to incorporate speed.
Guys, I need to go. So I'm just saying I need to go. So. Thank you very much for the podcast, and sorry for staying so little. Like something personal came up. So, goodbye, guys.
Peace. Don't be a stranger.
What I was going to say is that it's already hard. We've seen Sega and various other people try this. It's hard to incorporate Sonic in a 3D world where he has his speed and it's easy to manage, and you try to give him platforming. Platforming on a high speed is hard. 2D is one thing, but 3D platforming at high speed, you got to have some type of rail, mechanics in there because, I mean, it's like trying to play. It's like Family Guy playing Tron. It's not going to work out.
That's why Sonic Colors and Generations work so well because it's like on rails, but it works because, like you said, Doc, it's
platforming. Lost World, man.
Well, here's what I'll say. Lost World was the closest we got to them giving Sonic his fully 3D open world game, and even that still wasn't what Sonic Sonic is a 2D master has never had a 3D game that kind of gives him like his Mario 64 experience. And because he's never had that, that's why the games feel so. Oh, I'm running on rails. Oh shit, I'm being chased by a truck. Oh shit, I'm being chased by a whale. Oh snap. I mean, how many times
Escape is awesome. City Escape is awesome though. But go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. But here's what I'm saying. They could totally, I know people say, but with his speed. But here's the thing: you could totally have an open world game where it also incorporates his speed. Here's how you do it. Here's what you could model it after. You know how you play a game like GTA or any of those open world action adventure games where you get in a car and you drive really fast from point A to point B.
Or like Spider-Man.
Yeah, or Spider-Man. Like you basically make traversal, kind of like how they did in 3D World, where or in Lost World, where basically if you running up something, you could hold the R to one of the buttons and you go over traverse stuff like obstacles and stuff like that. I think that if they did something like that, so that when Sonic ran, he'd have some. He already has inertia, momentum in the 2D games, but they kind of kept that, but gave him the ability to jump over small obstacles and stop giving you the cheap ass way that they build things in the 2D games, where it's you're running. Oh, you didn't memorize this level. Oh, you ran into spikes. That's kind of lame to me. And I think in an open world game they'd have to change that. But Sonic hasn't had that game yet. They keep, for some reason, they can't reconcile he hasn't had his 64 game yet, and I don't think Mania is going to do it. I think the gimmick for Mania is that you can make your own character. That's the gimmick. Forces. It's not, we've changed it for Forces. Yeah, the gimmick for Forces is that you can make your own character. It's not, okay, we finally figured out how to put Sonic into a 3D open world game. They have it. It's not.
Yeah, it's basically Sonic Generations 2, but just a different storyline to create your own character because you had the 2D sections with Classic Sonic, you had 3D on rail with modern.
Yeah, I I'm like, Sonic desperately needs his 64 game. And when I say 64, I don't mean 64 bits exactly. I mean like a game where they're like, hey, here's Sonic's world, go explore, do some shit. But we haven't had that yet.
I would say Adventure was close enough, but
that was still on rails. That's the thing. It was still on rails for I'd say 60%, no, 75, 80% of that game was you were on rails, and then you'd have frustrating, like you'd be fighting a boss, and the boss wasn't tough. The fucking camera was killing you half the time.
Yeah, so, I would say at least they had a hub in that game.
Yeah, that you couldn't really explore.
Yeah,
it's like, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if I could go over there and explore that? Nope, invisible wall.
Which I really thought they could have actually polished it or have a new spin on that idea on the next game. But apparently they didn't do that.
I mean, I hate to say this, but here's all. I'm just gonna give you guys a hint, Sega, and I know this is gonna crush your heart. Go to Nintendo and say, look, we don't know how to make an open world 3D game. We suck at it. We keep on just falling on rails and having Sonic get chased by large vehicles or animals. Here. We're gonna let you guys work on a Sega game. Please, just look, get some of the side people who like once Mario Odyssey goes gold and they're just like, here, we'll make it. And they can knock that shit out in 6 months. And even half-assed Tokyo EAD is going to be better than anything we've gotten from the 3D Sonic games. So we can finally have an open world 3D Sonic game where he actually can explore his environment and his speed becomes an asset and not a detriment at the highest speeds. Because I mean, like, I know people are used to the whole 3D thing where you're on rails and you have the set pieces where you're like, oh man, when he was running from that truck, or oh man, escaping from that orca was really cool. But
you keep forgetting about it.
I would love to see a Sonic game that was like, could you imagine if they made a Sonic game that had the open world exploration of a Mario Odyssey? That would be fucking awesome.
At least they did
Sega can't do it. But it would be fucking awesome.
I would say that it has to be bigger, though.
Well, I mean, okay, like maybe you had 6 zones. Sonic could travel to those zones from maybe a smaller hub world where the rings actually had a purpose aside from just I got an extra life. Like maybe like you could kind of like, okay, here's the thing. Sonic 06, I hate that game, but it had a good idea where you could use the rings to buy things, but because they rushed that game, a lot of things were missing. That's actually a good idea. Implementation was awful, but you know.
I would say, hey, at least the coins in Odyssey are getting more use out of it. So
come on, man. We all know Mario's going to use them coins to buy special favors from one of those hot chicks.
Oh my god.
I'm a plumber.
Man.
I was about to say a dirty joke, but I was like, nah, that's a little too far. But
waiting on him to drop Peach for Pauline though.
That's what I would do. I'd be like,
let that be an alternate ending or something.
Peach looks weird, but Pauline looks hot. You know what it is? It's that red. It's that red outfit. Red typically makes women look hotter than.
She got actual assets.
Yeah, she's got assets, all right. But anyway, yeah, but anyway, yeah. I really do think that Sonic needs to evolve. And
in a good way.
He needs to evolve. Like Pokemon needs to evolve. And not just graphically.
Not the way that these idiots are talking about. I'm telling you that much.
No, not graphically. I mean, like you can still have the mainline Pokemon games that are like, hey, I have 4 moves and my Pokemon evolved and I gotta catch them all. But maybe like a deeper Pokemon story, kind of like I said, some really good ideas that Genius Sonority tried to do with Gale of Darkness and XD Coliseum, but it just I think maybe if it had a little bit, if it was a little bit more opened up a little bit, they could have pulled it off. But yeah, I think that Sonic needs to have his Mario 64 moment, and he hasn't had it yet. And
I was about to say,
sad.
people said the adventure was supposed to be it.
Yeah. Someone said, well, they did it in Adventure. Adventure started this 3D on-rail shit, which was fine for Adventure because that was the technology. I mean, the Dreamcast.
And also, it was their first attempt, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. If they had taken the engine from Billy Hatcher and like maybe made it so that he could run a little bit faster, that could have been a Sonic game. I think Billy Hatcher originally started as a Sonic game, but they didn't want to make a Sonic game, so they
had one game.
That is a good start.
Yeah. So I mean, I know Sega can do it because they did it with Billy Hatcher, an open world game where you actually could traverse stuff and explore. You could totally do. You didn't have to start Sonic because I think really
Sonic's
like
design makes it impossible to really follow Billy Hatcher because, well, he's based on one thing, and it's the signature thing that everybody remembers him for.
Now here's the thing. The thing is, they don't even have to use just Sonic. They have.
It could be Tails. It could be Knuckles.
Yeah, but the thing is that going with Sonic alone, you have to base it on speed since that's his character, and well, 3D and speed are not always the best of friends.
Okay,
as far as I remember.
Then make a 3D open world spin-off that instead of starring Sonic, you can have it star Tails because Tails is cooler in my opinion anyway because he can fly.
I was gonna say Knuckles, but yeah.
Well, Knuckles can kind of glide. I mean, you can have Knuckles. You could have Sonic get knocked the fuck out. Like Robotnik finally, like, I got you. He's like, and then I'm gonna take Sonic and I'm gonna torture him. And then you have Knuckles and Tails have to team up and get Sonic back. And you could make that an open world exploration game, and their abilities would actually work because like Tails can climb and beat up. I mean, Knuckles can climb and beat up people, and Tails has gadgets and can fly. That would be cool.
Yeah,
I can hear that is a grand idea, but I'm gonna hear Sonic fans around the world say this one thing: it's like Mario is missing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to those fans, you know what, guys? Screw you guys. Let's Sega actually expand the Sonic universe for one.
Sonic
this generation.
I mean, I know people are going to get mad at me. They're going to say, "Oh, how dare you? You're just a Nintendo fanboy."
Every counter argument that would come up for this idea, because I honestly love this kind of idea in a sense because it actually works with people that have to take their time and look around and find things.
Well, I mean, like, and you could actually like change up because you could make Tails kind of fragile. And like maybe I always thought it was kind of cheap that when Sonic got Chaos Emerald, once he goes Super Saiyan, everyone else, well, fuck you. You just faster.
Play Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Okay, fine.
Tails got the short end of the stick.
Okay, fine. Then. My favorite character, Tails, got the short end of the stick. So I was
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe you can have Tails do something cool. Maybe he turns into a fire fox and can light people on fire. That'd be cool.
I was gonna say I would have made a joke of Ice Fox personally because, well, we already got a Fire Cat.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean, yeah, but she look. Tails has seniority.
Good point.
So he turns into a fire fox. It's like, yeah, I got you, Tails, and what you gonna do about it? I'm gonna burn your ass. Oh God, I'm on fire! Not the fire! Ah, Jesus. But yeah, I mean, Sonic needs to evolve. Sonic needs to evolve. I know people.
Sonic needs a break.
Sonic needs to evolve. I mean, the 3D Sonic games need to evolve. 2D, Sonic's formula works perfect in 2D. But 3D, you cannot use shit that you were doing in the 6th gen, like, that's only basically the shit that's in the shit that's in Sonic now, that's in most of these open 3D Sonic games, is just basically rail running. That we've seen. I mean, it's basically a 3D version of what they were doing in the 2D games, and not in a good way. And that's like, it needs to change, in my opinion. It really needs. They need to. I mean, not change completely, not abandon it. Like, you could have portions like, okay, Sonic just blew up Dr. Robotnik's first airship. Now you got to get out of here. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. You're running fast, dodging through corridors and obstacles and shit. That makes sense. But every fucking game, oh man, a truck's trying to run me down. Oh Lord, let me run down this corridor. Oh, I hit this speed thing. Let me run some more. Oh, it's a quick time event. I got to jump through these things. Come on, man.
Nah, I feel
Eggman's such a narcissist.
What?
What about Big the Cat?
I was about to say, you do know there's a Big the Cat in this room, right?
You know what? Actually, I actually like Biggs the Cat just because he's so stupid that I just, he's like adorably stupid,
I consider him a mix of dumb and silly.
Well, I mean, he's got that whole thing where he's trying to find Froggy, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Stupid dumb bastard.
I like Bulk and Skull.
He's not even like he's not that bad because at least Bulk and Skull had a character arc if you watch all those Power Rangers series. But like Biggs, I mean Biggs just wants to find Froggy. He doesn't care about anything else. He's just trying to find Froggy. And I'm like, you know what? I admire your single-minded devotion. Like Biggs helped save the world, but not to save the world. He was just trying to find Froggy. That's hilarious to me.
I mean, you gotta have a character like that though.
And
as long as she finds Sonic, she's happy.
You mean Amy?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I personally think that making Amy into this like love obsessed, I must have Sonic. First of all, Sonic would be a terrible boyfriend.
There's some things that even
Okay, hold on. Stop real quick. Pause. I'm sorry. Hold on.
No, we're
Red
not.
Fox. You said
You know-
Hold on. Red Fox.
Yeah.
You just said Sonic would be a terrible boyfriend. Please elaborate.
Yes. Well, because he's the fastest thing alive.
You just had to go there.
Let's keep it real. I mean, he's like the Flash. No wonder. I mean, why? That makes no sense.
But like, it seems as though you come from a point of like actual concern for the other women in the world. Like, first of all, Sonic would be a terrible
I
boyfriend.
get the joke easy.
That's
I get the
terrible.
joke too easily here.
It's like that joke from Justice League Unlimited, where like he's like, yeah, he's the fastest man alive. No wonder you can't get a girlfriend.
Here?
That's right.
How the hell did we get here? How did we get here from talking about Sonic and how to make him work in a 3D world to he's a terrible boyfriend? I just want to know how we got here.
Well, because someone mentioned Amy Rose, and I said, why did they make her into this love-obsessed, like, insanity? Like, I've got to have Sonic. Why? He's an asshole. I mean, let's be real.
He saved him in Sonic CD.
The reason people like Sonic, the reason Sonic is cool is because he has this devil-may-care attitude. But here's the thing. Dudes like that in real life are assholes. And here's the thing. Sonic is an asshole. He's a total asshole.
I was about to say he's a jerk, basically.
Hell, even Mario's kind of an asshole, but I mean Sonic's a real asshole.
Go play Sonic CD. You see why? Because he saved her.
He's the fastest thing alive. I wouldn't brag about that.
Okay, that's a good cartoon. I ain't gonna lie.
Sonic with attitude.
Okay, so I'm actually curious about other aspects of it. So, what about Knuckles?
He don't chuckle. Never mind.
Knuckles has some real power, dude. I mean, have you seen how he can dig?
Sure.
I mean, that dude's really good at kind of getting penetrative power right there.
If I go into the game explain of what they said about Knuckles, well, I just have to facepalm and groan about it all the way.
Although to be fair, you wouldn't if you were like in the cartoon they had Knuckles hooking up with Rouge the Bat, who ironically I'm not a furry, but Rouge the Bat is hot. But
she has a good theme song too.
I don't care, man. She's just really hot. But anyway, but yeah, they're like, well, they can hook up. I wouldn't go there with that, because in real life, echidnas have 4 things.
Yeah. How would that work?
So that'd be awkward. That'd be very, very awkward. Very, very, very awkward. Awkward.
It's like hedgehogs can't hook up. Hedgehogs can't hook up with squirrels. I'm talking about the Archie comics.
Whatever, man. I don't even like. Here's the thing. I'm just saying, Sonic the Hedgehog they need to do something different with the 3D games. The 2D games, okay. We've seen with Sonic Mania that 2D Sonic, the formula works. 3D Sonic, the formula was flawed from the get-go. We accepted it because, it
was new.
It was new, but like they need to do something different. I'm sorry. It needs to do something different. I don't know what.
It can be done.
I don't know what they could do to change it, though. I mean, I've already given some options, like make a game where maybe you could have a game where finally Robotnik finally kills Sonic. He's dead. They got him. Wait a second. Wait a second. It's an alternate reality. So now you have like the people, like Sonic's gone. So now you have like Tails and Knuckles and maybe, I don't know, some other third character. They have to save the world without a Sonic, but they have to use their own abilities. Like there's no Super Sonic to save their ass. They got to do their own.
We had that already. It's called Sonic 06 with Princess Louise.
Oh, God.
No,
Did you have to go there?
No.
Right.
No. And that wasn't for the whole game. I mean, for a whole game, like no Sonic. Period. Spray. If you're gonna chow down like that, man, mute your mic, man.
It's done. I'm sorry. These are some good candy.
Okay, you just see. Man, I'm hangry. But anyway, no. But yeah, I really think that could really kind of make the franchise. I'm just saying, but look at the other, franchises Sega has that they haven't done shit with. I mean, look at Streets of Rage.
What the hell?
I mean, they haven't done anything with Streets of Rage.
Good point there.
They haven't done anything with. They haven't done anything with Golden Axe. Yeah, she's playing Metopia.
Okay, I thought it was like, I don't know, something. I thought it was like some Grant Kirkhope music or something.
Nah, man, Grant Kirkhope, I like him, but no, it's no. But yeah, I really do think they could do something with Golden Axe. Could you imagine a Golden Axe Streets of Rage crossover game?
Dude,
that would be to beat them up to be of ancient times and modern times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could basically have like maybe like the first 2 levels are like, how did these 2 people get together? These 2 characters get together. So it could be like you could have like 5 playable characters on both rosters of Streets of Rage and Golden Axe, and maybe like Dark Adder and Mr. X find this artifact, and basically they make wishes on the artifact, which creates this world where evil like owns everything.
Right.
And so now they gotta beat the shit out of random dudes, and like you could even have them first meet up and try and fight each other. And obviously the Golden Axe people would win, because I don't care how many fists and guns you got, you're up against dudes who use swords and axes and dragons and shit. What are you gonna do? But yeah. Grind Upper versus Tyria Flamestar, or Gil Goldbeard with that axe.
Like, that would be nice to see those IPs, but it's kind of hard because we don't really beat them us are kind of like evolve into hack and slash now. So, although if I had to pick an IP for say to bring back, you know what I'm going to say. Jet Set Radio.
Man, they've already, but they still do beat 'em ups. I mean, Yakuza's a beat 'em up. You beat the shit out of people. Just, I don't like the way your face looks. Pow! I'm gonna take this dude and smash his face into a brick wall. That's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, but
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
bring
good.
back Jet Set Radio,
I'm
please.
coming to the West with it.
Well, they actually did. They pretty much remastered it for the 7th gen.
Yeah, you can get it on
Just-
PC, you can get it on Xbox 360, you can get it on PS3. I got it on PC. It's
I had
it's
the
okay.
I have it on Dreamcast.
So do I, but I mean, you know, like, here's the thing: Jet Set Radio was a good game, but
And Future hasn't yet to get a re-release. You had to get it on OG Xbox.
I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know, man.
Hey, once you go ahead and buy it for the Xbox 360 and play it on the Xbox One X via backwards compatibility.
Man, fuck that.
That's
Sorry.
a lie.
Sorry.
yeah, that sounds like Don Matrick.
Ah,
That's what Don Matrick would say.
No, this is Don Matrick. For those of you who are worrying about, you know, their games, we have a product for you. It's called the Xbox 360. That sound you heard after he said that was him getting fired.
Where is he now? Is he still with Zunga? Whatever it's called?
Yeah, he was at Zynga, and he was
Zynga.
finished running that shit into the ground. Because I mean, like, here's the thing you have to understand about Don Matrick. Don Matrick runs shit into the ground. He's really good at it. I mean, he's astoundingly good at running shit into the ground. Like, if you have something you want to see get run into the ground, find Don Matrick, because he will run that shit into the ground. It's like, how did that die? Don Matrick touched it.
Burn to the ground.
Yeah. Now here's a question on the side chat from Metal Mint. I guess this would be directed at Dr. Feelgood, but is it just me, or are there a lot of twin sticks noobs on Splatoon 2?
Yeah. You know what I'm getting tired of on Splatoon 2? These fuckers popping up and getting to a fight, and I know they didn't drop. No, not a single pint of ink dropped, but the fucker has like 3 kills and like 8 kills. I'm like, these sons of bitches here.
well, no. What happens is if they even play, let's say they play like a minute of the match, and then let's just say their connection dropped somehow, whether they did it manually or really it dropped. It won't give them points, but it would still tag their kills. Now, I do know if you drop out really early, it takes away everything. But if you played, I think, like maybe a minute or more to match, it would still tag your kills and deaths or whatever, or and your specials, but it won't tag your ink whatsoever.
Doc, that's not what I'm talking about. It, like, literally, these people, I see them in the match killing people, but they aren't laying ink. They're just going around just killing people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've actually seen a person get like 13 kills in a match, and he had like maybe 450 points. I'm like, dude, what were you doing? Because I have no kills and I have 1,000 points.
They're just splatting people. They're not laying a single ounce of ink. I've seen people.
Guess what? Guess who's like that? Guess who's like that for real? I mean, no disrespect, no offense, but he's like that. Nintendo Ultra.
Yeah.
Nintendo Ultra, he loves rank mode, but every now and again he brings his ass over to Turf War, and he'll win a few matches. But when Splatoon came out, I got into a match with him, and whoever he was playing with, they murked the shit out of us because they were just basically playing like they were playing splat zones. They were just only going for the kills. So I said, okay, my team obviously wasn't ready for that, and I was just trying out a new weapon. I got my weapon of choice, went back, I beat his ass like maybe 5 times in a row, and then he left. But he knows how to play, you know, splat zones and all the rank modes, because the rank modes, let's be honest, that's for Call of Duty players that don't want to do nothing else but kill other players and get credit for it. That's what it's for. And since Splatoon doesn't have team deathmatch, you got rank modes. But literally, almost every time he's played in Turf War, I whooped his ass. Because he literally would have 12, 13, up to 15 splats.
Yep.
But it have 600 points. Like, dude, you weren't doing shit for killing people. You got somewhere you camped, you kept killing. Now, I will say they can benefit the team, but you can have 25 kills and still lose.
Yeah, that's the thing that pisses, because I've been in matches where I've been splatted. Like, there's someone who goes out of their way to control an area and just splat people. Doesn't lay any ink, just splats people. I'm like, you mother.
Yeah, I run across them from time to time, and it's funny because they may win a match or two, but I'm like, if you go against even a decent team that knows what the hell they're doing, not even expert, just decent, you won't stand a fucking chance.
Yep.
You won't stand a chance. I won't lie. You will have the most splats. I will give you that. But when the time comes to see who won a turf war, it usually is around 50-35.
Yep.
And I'm just sitting here laughing. Just you know how to splat people, but you forgot about the objective, which is while you're splatting, you may also want to lay down some ink.
Yep. Now, here's what I will say, though, and this isn't a gameplay thing about Splatoon 2. Man, do I miss moderated messaging. Oh, my God. Some of the shit.
Let's talk about that because Splatoon, I actually took a few screenshots, and I'm going to post them on Twitter later on tonight from my Switch. But, man, I'm seeing stuff that says, I like being gay. And I mean, I'm seeing all types. I'm like, man, Nintendo would never really let that fly.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean, like, okay, let me put it this way: people saying I support so and so, or don't hate, understanding. I'm like, okay, fine, that's a little borderline, but okay, I can understand that. But I saw a dude and I shit you not, my dad eats my ass in bold. I was like, this shit here. And the only reason I saw it was because like I was like, okay, I need to take a break, and I just strolled around the plaza looking at people's stuff and gear, and I walked past this dude. My dad eats my ass. I'm like, what the fuck? And I go back. I'm like, I'm reporting you, and I reported his ass. And then I saw another one who was like, Splatoon isn't about politics. I'm like, well, that just proves you're stupid, because the big event in Splatoon is Splatfest, which is about voting. Which I'm like, you kind of look, you're dumber than a bag of rocks, boy. But I digress. Look, listen. Okay,
I think they need to start moderating these damn nicknames too.
Oh yeah. I saw.
I'm seeing shit how Snipe Daddy and Beat Daddy and
I saw a dude. I eat farts and ass muncher. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
And then I posted one today where the chick's name was Miss Fuck You Up.
Now look, man, that's close.
I'm like, subtle, real subtle.
Look, man, I'll let that one. Come on, man. That's kind of bad. What happened to you, man? It was Miss Fuck You Up. What? It was. I got splatted like 13 times. What happened? Miss Fuck You Up. What? But you're right. Yeah. I mean, I wish there was. I wish they did moderation. I wish they. And like, here's the thing. Everyone's like, no, Nintendo, stop holding my hand. I don't want to play a game and have someone with a thing saying my dad eats my ass.
Yeah, I think when man that says penis for you, I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, like, I know some people are like, I don't want, but I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Considering what happened, I mean, I live in Virginia. Considering what happened in Virginia, if someone owns Splatoon 2 and they want to say love conquers hate or some shit like that, I mean, look, listen, I'm not going to get mad at them for expressing themselves, but what does my dad eats my ass have to do with anything? like, seriously, no. That's a bridge too far, I think.
Hey, but people always be like, oh, Nintendo, they censor their own line and this, that, and the other. And here we are.
Well, I mean, people are still going to find a way to be offensive because, I mean, like I said, my dad eats my ass. Or I mean, and I'm like, why would you even put, like, I mean, did you think people wouldn't see it? Did you think they wouldn't find it?
They done it deliberately.
You know, I mean, I just, and people are getting offensive because the people who don't agree with what other people are putting out, they're like, well, I'm gonna put up something equally offensive but in the opposite direction. I'm like, look, just stop. Yeah, you're not helping. You're making it worse. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
I want to get out.
Hey, after the development for that, let's check out on the bright side. Terry Goblin asked, who's excited for Sam's returns?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm totally excited for it.
We're all are.
Yeah.
I want to make a few more comments regarding Splatoon 2. I love the game. I won't be too long before I'm hitting 200 hours, and I've seen some people on my list already have over 300 hours. Well, actually just one. That's Nintendo Ultra. Shout out to him. But I know he spends his days and nights chasing and trying to maintain the S rank. You still bullshitting Turf War. Just saying, man. But I don't know what it is, but I need the people of Splatoon 2. I'm not sure what happened between Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, but people got more aggressive and not in a smart way. Okay, let me elaborate, and I may even upload some videos, and so you guys can see this shit firsthand. Seriously, I play with the Jet Squelcher. For those that are familiar with Splatoon, not familiar. The Jet Squelcher is the longest range automatic rifle in the game. The only guns that have more range than the Jet Squelcher are basically chargers or sniper rifles. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. When it comes to automatic guns, this Jet Squelcher is it. It's weak as hell, but literally you can take out snipers with that thing with pretty easy. You keep moving. But moving on, there will be someone that has a fucking arrow spray. They see me, right? They take 2 shots from my Squelcher to the face. Now keep in mind, there's not much room to move left and right. They'll take 2 shots. Of course, they're still locked because the Squelcher's weak. And then they'll try to move forward. And keep in mind, the key with the Squelcher is I don't try to fight someone in a close combat unless I have to, because it doesn't have the fire rate. It shoots fast like a splatter shot pro, which is not really that fast but not slow. But I know I'm at a disadvantage in close quarters, so I always shoot while moving back most of the time. Yep. Tell me why these people are still trying to approach me. Keep in mind, there's not many places to go left or right. With an arrow spray, they're trying to advance on me while still taking pot shots to the face. And then they really try to get in closer to get a kill. It's like, dude, by the time you even get halfway close to me, and which is still out of range, you're dead. Now, why would you take 3-4 bullets and still not retreat?
Yep.
I don't understand that. I've seen dudes with the dualies. They're dodging left and right, and all I do, I just leave my gun dead center, because all I do is dodge right back into the bullets.
Yep.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, guys, be smart. If you have an arrow spray, you shouldn't try to fuck with anyone unless you surprise them. That's just a fact. You should not be trying to win a one-on-one war with someone and you're not point-blank range. You just should not be doing that. But I've seen dudes, literally, an even worse gun, and you know this, Red Fox, that damn Splooshomatic.
Yep.
That has worse range than the arrow spray, but it's more damaging. I've seen people try to fight me one-on-one with a Splash Shot Pro from a distance.
Like, I mean, people, like, here's the thing. People are getting unnecessarily, like, it's like people have to relearn how to play this damn game. Like,
newbie.
What? Well, no. Okay, there are people. Okay, a lot of the people who are playing Splatoon, like, or like they don't either that or they didn't play the first Splatoon because it was on the Wii U and I don't want a Wii U because but
it sound like that, man.
Because in my head that's how they sound. Like, I mean, they're I mean, because I don't know if you noticed this, but like you'll be playing, the match will start in Turf War and you're like, okay, everyone should be laying ink. So if I'm laying ink and you're shooting and you see me over here in this area laying down ink near our base, why the fuck are you coming near me shooting, aiming ink? You need to be going to another area that doesn't have ink.
Dude. And that happens a lot. Now, here's what I will say, because my wife, she bitches about this a lot too, and I understand why. If the match starts and they say you all move out, if you are in the front, of course, if you're in the front, you can't really see the folks behind you. You really can't. But if you are let's say you're third. If you see two of your teammates in front of you go to the left, I don't care if going to the left is your favorite route to take. If they're in front of you, you don't go to the left. Choose a different route.
Yep.
You say, Red Fox, I've been on top of a small little block somewhere on the ink block art academy, right there off the spawn, a little small block. I'm right there already. I've seen a teammate come up behind me, and I can hear his shots hit me in my back. Nothing's going on. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm already right here. I have no plans of jumping down. Why are you still up here trying to shoot at the same target I'm shooting at? I don't think we need to waste our resources trying to take out one guy, of which only my gun can reach him.
Or I've had portions where we were getting our ass kicked, or like they were getting aggressive, pushing into our territory, and I'm like, okay, they're inking the shit out of our area. So why doesn't someone go into their area and start inking up their stuff so that it takes the pressure off of us? No, and then I have recording of this. I've taken out like 3 dudes, and my team. I'm like, okay, if someone was with me, behind me, and I took a little bit of damage, but like most of the set I've been wearing now has defense against ink, so I'm still alive. I'm like, if someone was with me and got the 4th dude, we would have been uninterrupted for like 2-3 seconds and could have like really inked up this shit. No, like what the fuck?
What I hate, and this relates to what you're just talking about. I hate when, first of all, I'm the person. The maps are symmetrical. I'm the kind of person that believes you push just past the halfway point. There's no need to push any further. Because what happens is, if you get taken out, if you push too far, every map has 1 or 2 backdoor ways to get around the pressure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every map, Port Mackerel especially, it's easy to go around the side, those little back alleys, to come out behind the whole team and take them out. My wife was playing Splatoon 1, and this happened. They were under a lot of pressure. They had inked up the whole map, even their territory. I told my wife, I said, stop fighting them. Go around the back alley. She single-handedly painted their whole turf, and they won by like 5%.
Oh, yes. I love
the other guys are back there trying to lead a spawn, trying to take them out. Like, no. It took one person to turn the match around. But what I hate is when you have one teammate that wants to push all into the territory without really inking much of anything, just the line he's traveling on.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we got 4 guys targeting us near the middle of the map. You're gone, so it's 4 against 3. Even when you're going into the turf, you're not inking shit but your own path. You're not helping us. So now it's 4 against 3, we're at a disadvantage. And then we end up losing the match that way. It's like, I hate when people push past the halfway point. Like, stop doing that. You don't get brownie points for getting furthest into the spawn. There's no points for that.
The only time that makes sense is if you're in a match where you've got like 2 people who like are applying pressure, which basically while the other people are inking up. Normally people with like arrow sprays or rollers that they can kind of lay a lot of ink. That makes sense. But if it's just one person, you're wasting people's time.
Exactly.
About my outburst earlier, Metalman just put out 2 examples of some very dirty names that people came up with in Splatoon 2. So
How bad?
Mentioned it. It's just too much. Really, you really want me to say it?
Hey, man,
go ahead. I don't care.
Well, one is cum slinger.
It's disgusting, but it's funny.
And the other one is splat. Well, let's just say it got the N word at the end.
Okay.
Enough said.
No, I'm sorry. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
As I said, that's enough said.
Yeah, look, I like the fact that we have nicknames, but I think some people do take it too far. I think the only saving grace we have, and it's not really much of one, if at all, is the fact that the nickname is limited to 10 characters. If you could put 15 characters, I'm sure you see some very offensive sentences.
Oh, yeah.
But
here's the way I look at it. If it's not clever, here's the way I look at it. If it's not clever, then
Don't use it.
You don't use it. Yeah, if it's not clever or funny, don't use it. Like if you're using offensive language, and when I say offensive language, like cursing to me isn't really offensive. But if you're like using the N-word or the C-word, like stuff that's meant to be hurtful, typically speaking, then I'm not down with that. But if you're like, well, that's just kind of funny. I'm like, I'll let that slide. That's kind of fun.
Oh, but by the way, does Sega own the Condemned series, or did they just publish it?
I think they published it.
They published it now, because I've seen I've looked at it earlier, and it was Monolith. Oh crap! What was that? Monolith Productions was the one who made the game, but the publishers was actually Sega and Warner Brothers.
For Condemned?
Yes, for the Condemned series.
Yeah, I think Warner Brothers owns that because when Sega lost the license, whenever you see Condemned on sale, it's always Warner Brothers' shitty-ass publishing that's got control over it.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And one more thing about Splatoon before we close out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple of things. To all you players out there,
play ya.
Well, for all you splatters out there.
Listen, people. Please, I know it's not as convenient as it was on the Wii U, but check your goddamn map.
Yep.
Let me elaborate as to why. I don't care if you flick it on for a second. Hell, do it by accident. I don't give a shit. But please check it somehow. Let me tell you why. And this is a prime example thus far. Moray Towers is, in a sense, is vastly different than it was on a Wii U. It is the same map, but the changes they made, it basically made it easy to be flanked. You can be surprised, and you can have your turf colored and not even know it. They basically giving the opponent 2 additional ways to get on your side, and it takes little to no effort. You won't even see it coming unless you know where they have to come up at. I'm telling you, you have to watch it.
You know what? Here's the thing. When they saw some people saw those small changes, and they were like, "Man, back in the first game, yeah, they weren't in the multiplayer stages, single player. But when they saw that, they was like, man, that's not going to make any difference. Anyone can see you coming from afar on those ropes. Well, they have mistaken.
This is why I missed the Wii U controller.
Yeah,
but I mean, but
people didn't want it though, Joe. That's the thing.
I'm telling you, even I did not check my map much in the beginning, but I'm telling you right now, you play Moray Towers enough, and you get your ass flanked, and you're like, man, where the hell he come from? You'll start checking your map because people, there are ways folks can sneak behind you and you won't know it. I've been playing matches where I had 1,300 points without a bonus, never died, had used a special 6 times. I'm thinking we got this in the bag. We got this whole middle part covered. We're knocking them out of the park, and look back and somebody snuck by and
your spawn is just
not even the spawn. I literally see someone bulldoze 3 of us from behind.
Oh yeah. I haven't had that happen to me, but I've had cases where I was like, we've taken the middle, we've got our thing done. Okay, all we got to do is just hold this area, hold the center. We got our thing. Nah, someone got stupid and they stuck behind us. The match ends. I'm like, what the fuck? and they went. I'm like, come on, man. It's like, did no one think to go back to the look? If you aren't being harassed by dudes and you're in the center, that means someone got beyond you. Okay, got behind you. So go back, look at the map, and say, oh shit, they're over here. Okay.
And another map like that, Starfish Main Stage. Check those sides where you have those are the walking areas, those are the walking grates. I'm telling you, people, they can go over there and never be seen. You won't even really see much ink. But you look behind you, you're like, man, what the hell happened to try to spawn?
That's
please
right.
Check your map and please watch the flank points. Every level has at least 2, if not more, flanking points that if you were to push a little bit past the halfway point, they can literally sneak up behind you and bulldoze your entire team. I have lost probably about a good 5 matches since the game came out where literally the last 10 seconds, 3 or 2, if not all of us get killed. We had a commanding lead. I mean commanding meaning our spawn and the entire center and some of their spawn taking over. And that last 10 seconds, they literally beat us by like 0.5%. Just from that.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
I even killed, I think it was ASAP Rail, Mizza T, and SK Massive today, back to back, almost simultaneously on Moray Towers. So guess what? They all took that left flank. They took that left flank, rode that zip cord to the top. They came up one by one, and I was backing up, pelting them. It took my whole tank to take them all out.
Basically, that's what I've had to start doing is like guarding the places where people normally like to come up and sneak up. And I just like, I mean, I throw bombs. I nade people. I'm like,
that's right.
I will give the game credit for one thing. I will give the game credit for one thing. The one thing I didn't like about the first game, because most people that had matching perks, they glitched it with the early exploit. But now you can literally customize your clothing to have all matching perks. It's very costly. It requires a lot of damn work, a lot of scrubbing, a lot of re-rolling, or whatever. But you can do it.
Bless one.
That can be done. But please, people. And one last thing, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Red Fox and Triple M, even you can agree on since you had the first game. Team, Splatoon Turf War, stop playing it like rank mode. I don't mean going for kills. Stop trying to be the first one to the center.
Yep.
There are no points for that.
Move with your team so that you can cover area
and then spread out. The reason I'm saying it because they'll shoot out like it's a race to the middle, and they won't ink shit in the turf.
Exactly. They won't ink their spawn. I'm like, ink your fucking spawn. Even if you have one person back there, ink the fucking spawn. And then what I've been doing is playing defensive near the spawn so that when they inevitably come into there, I take them out and then cover up their damage. And then I start going for the center and taking out. Like I go after the people who think they're going to sneak in and mess up our spawn.
Yeah, I would do it.
Has been working.
The only stage where that really works, like racing to the center, is Moray Towers because when you cover the center part of the most, that's other than that, that's it.
Yeah, it's like even then, it's like all you're doing is you're at the top part, just spray ink on the bottom. That's pretty much all you have to do. But people, Moray Towers, watch the flanks. Starfish Main Stage, watch the flanks. I literally sent somebody a friend request. I told my wife this. I was playing a match. I wish I was recording it. His name was Fox something. I forget what it was. I think it was like maybe level 22. We were on Moray Towers. It was funny just watching it from a distance, guys. You had to see it. I seen someone zip up their zip line on the left-hand side. Then I started shooting him with my jet squadron from a distance. I got a couple of shots in, but he didn't die, so he went down to the middle. My teammate saw him, followed his ass down to the middle, and I follow him. I'm shooting him from a distance up top, trying to cut him off with ink or whatever. This guy was moving. He was trying to get away. He went right back around to where that zip line was. My teammate is right behind his ass. He shot the zip line, turned to his own ink color. He split up. And you know, once it's one color, it takes a lot more shots to turn it to your own color.
Yeah.
My teammate stayed on route to his ass. He changed that zip line colors. And then when old dude jumped back up to get me, I backed up again and started pelting him with bullets. Literally, I saw that line change. My teammate came up right behind his ass. He tried to jump down again, and my teammate jumped down and chased him back up. I said, about halfway to that spawn, he did not stop till he killed this dude. And I'm thinking to myself, that's some wifey shit. Like, but my thing was, he did not let this guy, because some people see someone get away and it's like, oh, that he's just one person, somebody get him. It's like, that's not always the case.
No.
He made sure, nah, dude, you try to sneak your ass into our side, I'm not gonna stop till you're dead.
Yep. I mean, like that's how I am. I'm like, look, like I've had dudes like what I like to do when I have the arrow spray because it doesn't have great range is like I see someone thinking they're gonna sneak around. In Maury Towers, they get that side with the zip line and they're gonna ink it up and go up there and like ink up our base. I'm like, nah. I'll wait for their ass to come up there, and then I'll get their asses. I'm like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, but it was so funny just watching this. This took place like over the course of 30 seconds. Even when the guy ran to go back to his own side, my teammate's like, nah, if you cross my line, there's a debt to pay. And he did not
you mess with the bull, then get the horns.
He's like, because I'm not gonna lie, there's sometimes if someone runs from me, I'll let him go because like at least I pushed you back from me and from my teammates. But he said, "Fuck that! No, I gotta settle this because if I get you now, you'll get me later when my back is turned." And the last thing I would say, and this still goes on the first game. If you see your teammate's jump icon appear next to you, don't leave it unguarded.
Yeah,
help them out.
Unless
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care if you're in a
secure spot. Don't leave it unguarded.
Protect their landing because if they jump in and then they immediately get killed and you're off ink and turf, guess what? You would have had 4-on-4. Now it's 4-on-3 again. Guard them.
Yep. And if they're using the ink shot, protect their spot if they're not in a safe place because those other fuckers will wait until you land and shoot you. So
I said it because
before you land.
Because the stealth jump is not as effective as it was in the first game. In the first game, it completely eliminated your jump. I mean, your landing circle. In this game, it even says so in the description. Your landing circle does not show up to distant players, but anyone that's nearby can see it clearly.
Yeah. I mean,
so
to
it's
tell you the
worthless.
truth, what's better now when you jump is the thing that lets you roll. Because
the roller,
because like you have a frame of invincibility when you land. So if they try to shoot you, that gives you a little bit of time to like, oh shit, you thought you got me, bitch. Yeah.
But I would definitely say, please, I don't care if you're trying to do something. We all have our habits with every level. You try to be the first one to get to your perks because if you get there, it's the biggest chance of success. I get it. I do the same thing every map. I think everyone does. But if you see a jump circle and you want to go down and take care of business, do not leave that unguarded because your teammate dies. There are enemies that would ignore you to get that easy ass kill.
Yep.
They would literally stop fighting you just to take out the person that's coming in, and they're completely unguarded.
Guarded, yeah.
So please protect them. I don't care what you do. At least save off. If you can buy them in even a couple of milliseconds, that can mean the difference between you dying, and then them killing the person that killed you or something. But it can help.
Between splat and victory, that's probably the big difference, right?
Exactly.
Yep, a full team is the best guarantee of winning. If you see people constantly getting splatted and there's nothing you can do, oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to make you feel really bad.
Anyway, we'll go ahead and end it here. And I do want to thank everyone for showing up, especially the good shepherd. I know he has, his family responsibilities and stuff, but he was able to make it. So I'm glad he was able to stop by. Shout out to him. I'm not sure if Contrarian's still here. Is he still here?
He left.
No, he had to bounce.
He had to leave. That's right. Glad he was able to come by. People in the chat, thank you, Metal Mint, and everyone else. But
I bet you we got all negatives.
Probably so. But go ahead and give your sign-offs.
Sorry about being quiet for so long. This is Joe Ryder, the Gaming Mage, and hopefully you guys had some fun.
Yeah, this is Triple M here, and just my final say about the Xbox division. Hey, Luigi, what's the hold up?
That's a bridge too far.
Hey, go ahead, Sprite.
Sprite Remix, good podcast, and let's hope I can get all the animals.
All right. And Kenoshi, if you're there. Probably asleep or something.
I hope you.
This is Kenoshi Bombito, and I just want to say there's no more citrus flavored orange juice.
Good one.
Bonito here to say, pick up Sonic Mania. It's
Finally, something positive.
It is the best and the last great Sonic game you'll ever.
Oh, come on! Really? From positive to just downright no.
Harsh.
Let's not be the last.
All right, go ahead, Red Fox.
And this is Mr. Red Fox. I have something to say to Microsoft. Phil Spencer, because you guys are trying to sell people a $500 console with no exclusives, you can kiss my big black ass. That's it.
Yeah, what the hell, man? I'm Dr. Feelgood. Let me apologize.
Mine's
Some
Harry.
of these bastards on the show. Anyway, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's been a little rocky with the scheduling. Have to make sure people are able to make it. But as I always say, keep it gaming. And learn how to play Splatoon correctly, bastards.